my honey baby.
Yeah.
And coming up of how many years have we been married?
It'll be 70. It was 1932 when we moved into his neighborhood.
We were both 10 years old. We were both in the same grade. So I've known her for 80 years. I still remain as horny as ever, but the rest of it.
And I joined him in 6th grade, and I recognized him right away because he was the naughtiest boy in class. He got scolded. He got taken to the cloakroom quite a bit.
Just because I threw erasers around?
Yeah, a few other things
Dumb
too.
teachers.
Yeah, he was a naughty boy, and he sat behind me usually.
Yeah, behind her.
And threw spitballs, and sometimes he'd dip them in the inkwell and made it an ink spitball. But I didn't know that was a way of showing attention to me. Our class would go ice skating at night, and one time he washed my face with snow. I guess that was showing me attention too. I didn't like it.
I think we were in 8th grade, and all of a sudden, I noticed that girls were different than boys, and they were kind of nice. At one time, when I washed your face, that was kind of a biggie. And it seemed like, I wanted to touch her in some way, and how do I know about touching young girls? So I picked up some snow and washed her face. Didn't go over very well.
Naughty.
When you're 10 years old, girls weren't, we took it kind of slow and easy. But, I'd known her for at least 5 years before I started to feel her up.
It seems impossible that we're that old. I'm going to add a little correction to that. It took longer than 5 years before. Don't believe him.
Obsessions. Answer truthfully.
I know. Oh,
I dare you.
He does have obsessions. He's always after my body. He says, I'm 89 years old and you turned me on.
Well, and she's so stingy with her body.
Do I have any weird obsessions? Be careful.
You think I want to get caught up in that? Forget it. At night, I'm always the first one to curl over, but I always go over to her side. We always kiss goodnight. Always. And profess our love for one another. And I don't think we ever miss that, do we?
Instead of getting a card, he'll take a paper plate and he'll write a real loving message.
But lately, when was it? 2 years ago at least, it was a paper plate again. And I forget, maybe it was Mother's Day. But I just poured out my heart and told her how important she was in my life and how far I've gone in my life because she was at my side. I've saved that. And what I do is I just change the date and give her the same card. I mean, what in the Sam hell else could I say? Mother's Day coming up, she's going to get that same card, and she knows it and loves it.
When we walk, we hold hands. Well, we've always held hands. We began in high school. But when we walk, now we hold hands, I think so.
To support each other.
Yeah, so we stay upright. The important thing in a marriage is to be nice to each other and to be good friends, to remember that all the time.
What do you guys argue about the most?
Sex.
His hair, he doesn't need his haircut. It's ridiculous. When he finally has a little hair here, he runs to the barber. No, I think that he wastes money on haircuts. Absolutely.
She doesn't know that the trend for men nowadays is to clip it close. I like to stay trendy.
He used to be very vain about his hair. It's blonde, and
remember my wave?
And he'd push a little wave in.
We never go to bed, never carrying a grudge against the other one, being so-called mad at each other. Never ever. If it's really a focal point, we sit alongside each other and talk it out, which is very seldom. But then it's always kiss goodnight.
What is something that Grandpa does that drives you nuts?
Probably several things.
Well, some things I can't say. The other night, we were talking, and I told John, we were telling each other nice things. And I said, you know what, John, I never was attracted to another man. And he said, I never was attracted to another man either.
Yeah. Yeah, we both cracked up on that one. You know.
Well, that's it. You got to make each other laugh, too. And enjoy each other. When this article in the paper just recently that he's a baseball legend, you know. And people have clipped the article out and given it to us, sent it to us. And he walks in, he said, you know, did you know you were married to a legend? You realize you're married to a legend? And he said, I don't think a legend should have to take the garbage out anymore.
Right. She still wants me to take out the garbage.
Oh, yes, he takes
I'm
out
a
the
legend.
garbage.
I'm going to milk that dry. I'll tell you.
Do you remember your first date?
Yes, real well. Basketball game in high school.
15 maybe we were.
Maybe
15.
we were 15.
Yeah.
I asked her out to go to the high school basketball game at our gym. Walked her all the way home. Wanted to kiss her, didn't have the guts, so...
Grandma, do you remember what you thought when he didn't kiss you?
Oh, you never kissed on a first date. Heaven's sake. Never.
Yeah, it would have been 37 maybe, huh?
Yeah.
1937, yeah. A long time ago.
What's the naughtiest thing you did while dating?
We didn't really do many naughty things. She wasn't a very naughty girl, so I played it more reserved. Well, the whole marriage bit, and never sleeping together until you were married. It was just, well, it was common in our days, wasn't it? You didn't do it.
Yeah, except for the naughty girls.
Except for the naughty girls, yeah.
But you know what the best time of life is? It's when your children are married and they give you grandchildren. The highlight of our lives is a great-granddaughter, Addie, and she is, I'm sorry, but she really is the most beautiful, the most wonderful, the greatest thing on earth.
And she's all over the house, as you can see. The best time of my life is right now. Imagine being retired, 28 years. Hey, the best time was yesterday, because I've made it until today, and having my honey baby by my side. That we've lived together all these years. It's been wonderful, wonderful.
The warriors were hell.
Yeah, the war years were necessary, had to be done.
What memories do you have growing up in the Depression?
Well, actually, your grandma has never really left the Depression. I tell you, she watches those pennies. And now that we're at this stage where, you know, hey, we can be more comfortable, relax a little bit. Let's spend it. Thank God I get an allowance that's pretty hefty. We proposed. You want to know how we proposed? I really startled her. I took her on a date, and we went to the Riverside pumping station in Milwaukee, which is on the east side, pulled over and started to talk seriously to her, pulled out an envelope, and inside the envelope was a card expressing my love for her, and taped into the card was this huge diamond ring. How big was that ring?
The ring cost $29. It was gold with a diamond. It was a Canardly diamond.
Yeah,
You can hardly see it.
Can hardly see it. And then I said, will you... She was flabbergasted when she saw that ring. And then I said, will you marry me? Yes. And I said, listen, baby, you stick with me, and someday you'll be wearing a diamond as big as a horse turd, a horse apple.
In high school, there was a girl.
Speak up there.
Her name was Chubbins. She decided that she really liked John, so she would always meet him in the hallway and talk to him. I'm sure he let her on a little bit. And he decided I had enough of that stuff. I said, you gotta quit them. And I had some boys after me too, of course.
So you told Grandpa to ease up on the flirting?
Oh, yes, I did. Chubbins.
So her nickname was Chubbins, and
Yeah.
she was chubby.
Yeah.
Big boobs.
Oh.
Do you remember when you and Casey found our love notes? from high school.
Oh, yeah.
All the notes we exchanged in high school. And on one of them, he wrote, "If you don't marry me, I'm going to stab myself in the belly button." So I decided, well, I better marry him. I don't want him to stab himself in the belly button. It was a smooth courtship.
Well, I married at 20 when you didn't have really much of anything. I was a sophomore at Wisconsin. World War II hadn't happened. I'm sure we wouldn't have gotten married at that age. But with the war upon us and not knowing what in the hell was going to happen, we got married. And 5 months later, I was in the big war.
We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with our children. We enjoyed them. Enjoyed our grandchildren beyond words. And our great-granddaughter is absolutely the best, the most beautiful, wonderful, talented. I think the happiest time is when you have grandchildren.
Yes.
Our 3 kids were wonderful. I mean, we loved them and adored them, but you worry more about them. But when you have grandchildren, the parents are there to help you with the worry, and you get all the fun. Grandpa worries, wonders now, how did we ever make it on $2,800 a year? That was what his first salary was.
Well, we made it because Grandma handled the money.
That's right.
What would have happened if you handled the money?
We'd have had a lot more fun. I think another thing that helped make the show go for our marriage and have it last so long is that, you see, Evie and her family, she was the oldest. In my family, I was the youngest. I was the baby. I could do no wrong. Whereas Evie, being the oldest and had to take care of the younger sister, there was much more responsibilities, and she took those seriously and carried them over into our marriage. I was much more carefree as a youngster and carried that over into our marriage. That difference helped make the marriage survive.
Well, you have to balance each other. Yes, that's what it amounts to.
She needed someone like me.
Yes.
And I needed someone like her because we are different. 90 years of age and 70 years of marriage, who'd have ever thought that when we were in 6th grade?
He has to pay for his haircuts, and he doesn't need a haircut. I could clipper that with my dog clippers.
That's not the fashion nowadays.
They cut it too short. I like to see some hair. There's hair there.
Well, half of the fun for you for a haircut is there's all these young honeys. These gals are 21, they're 22 years old, and they do a good job. And when they find out I'm 90, they almost faint. They really do. And when they find out how long I've been married, they say, "Could you repeat that? What?" So the conversation is part of the fun. Especially when they're gorgeous and have good-looking legs.
And what were we going to talk about? Smart. Way to hustle. A bit agrophobic.
Agoraphobia.
He likes
Orbic?
agrophobic. The camera hog.
You know I don't. But do I really? What are you going to ask me?
No, you're going to ask me.
No, you
You're
ask him.
It drives me nuts.
Honey, baby, eat for God's sakes. So I picked up some snow and washed her face.
What?
I didn't like it.
Thank God for that.
Does it hurt? Is it really bad? And John said, "This is worse than childbirth."
Number 70, who'd have ever thought? We had to get married. I knocked her up. It didn't work out, the arithmetic, because Susie was born
4 years later.
4 years later.
And Kathy
Yeah.
always voted no. He doesn't need any more money.
But hey, it saved our ass.
Well, thank you, honey.
That's all right.
That's